Hello there everybody, long time no see. I apologise for the low volume, hope you can hear me okay. It's a little bit too late at night for me to really be making a video, but I had a few minutes so I thought why not. I don't really have too much in the way of updates to give you. I just wanted to pretty much just show you what I've been working on, really. I've been attempting to redo my site from scratch. Basically what it was previously was just this hub where everything was aggregated together, so whether it's YouTube videos, whether it's EVPs, so on and so forth, social media. I'm trying to add some apps to that, some freebies for people to use. Now realistically they're just things that I've been messing around with, but hopefully I'm hoping that I might find some use with them. I'm hoping other people will too. So all I've really done with the site is just updated the layout so things stand out a little bit better. It's nowhere near done just yet. Started to add articles, but I kind of realised that I'm a terrible writer, so that's probably something to leave behind. But I did make a little bit of something for those people that aren't in a situation to go and get a Spiritbox, basically. I've been in the market for getting a Spiritbox for quite a while, but I refuse to pay for ridiculously overpriced stuff that is essentially just a hacked radio. So I'm looking for a good hackable radio to come along, and I'll just hack it myself. So this that I'm about to show you, like I say, a lot of this stuff is ultimately just things that have been put in as placeholders. This here is really just a very simple live scanning Spiritbox using internet radio. It's got 4 scan speeds, as you can see here, and a start button. That's basically all it is.
Or's lifetime.
But now that the
So that's one thing I've been working on. It's just a little widget added to my site, and yeah, if you need a free Spiritbox, you don't want to pay, you can just come here and grab this. Hopefully it should do the job, and I'll have to test it out shortly. These are just things that I've made as like little hobby projects from time to time. So some other things that I wanted to mention. As some of you might know, I started making this Dimension Rift thing, and I haven't really got very far with it, you know. I'm just showcasing this now because I was asked a question about it a while back. As far as how does it work and what does it do? Well, essentially it just mimics the same sort of thing you would get with water ITC, but in a digital fashion, meaning that you don't have to carry some reflective vessel that can contain water. I'm not done with it. I'm not happy with it. There's 2 modes at the moment. There's auto and external. The whole idea behind auto is that if you're making videos with another app on your desktop, it's something that you can run pretty much alongside of that app, excuse me. So the idea behind this is it essentially just grabs your webcam, distorts the image, and allows you to add in external light sources. Right now I'm recording my webcam, so I can't use this, but just thought I'd give you an overview. The other thing that this does is there's an external mode. The idea behind external is that you would use a desktop capture software and you would record the video. You could have it in full screen if you'd like, and you can then go in frame by frame, and instead of having just this small area where you could potentially catch images of spirits, you can go frame by frame over a full screen area. But as I say, right now I'm not entirely impressed with it, so I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board on that. Round about the same time, when I was catching these images like I've shown you before, I found it weird how they were getting imprinted onto the photos, because essentially what you should be seeing is a distorted area such as what you have there. But if you take a look, you've got certain things that end up standing out. So how are they able to imprint onto the photograph? So just to kind of have a play around and, you know, basically, how do I put this, experiment, I ended up putting together this program initially, which was going to be an app where you could have several things, kind of like a little toolkit, if that makes sense, just things to play around with. So you have this, which was supposed to be originally a way to see if spirits could predict the outcome of things that haven't happened yet. You know, you basically do a Spiritbox session, ask them what numbers out of 1, 2, 3 and 4 should come up, and you know, maybe, just maybe, they might get them right. And something that I came up with, I've never tested this, but I might put it out just as a standalone desktop app, is this thing called Impossible Circle. And I've had this kicking around on my computer for a while, and essentially all it is, this circle has a variable tied to it. What I wanted to test is whether or not they're able to manipulate data, as silly as that sounds. So the idea is this has no triggers to it. You would simply ask them if they can change the variable inside it, and if they do, if there's a spirit present, maybe the circle might change colour. So the only thing this app can do is change colour from blue to red, and an alarm will sound if there's a spirit present. Now, I've never tested it, but I might put it out, you know, just as a little experiment that people can partake in. And then we have this. It's called ESP Test. Sorry. It's called ESP Test, but realistically it's more of a trainer. It's just a simple card game. I took that old experiment with the numbers and just turned it into something a bit more fleshed out. So the idea is very simple, you know, you just try and predict a shape that might come up, and the idea is you're scored out of 30, and by the end of it you have the option to post your score to a global leaderboard, basically. And I have noticed some improvements in my ability to predict things simply by using this. However, I want to expand this so there's 8 cards instead of 4. So that's just another little thing I was working on. And for those people who want something to use as a Spiritbox app that don't have any money and maybe won't be connected to the internet, there is this, which is based on the idea that you saw earlier. It's basically a banked Spiritbox with 4 scan rate options like you saw earlier, and it also has a few effects built in. So there's basically 10 minutes of audio in this. You've got a simple volume slider, you've got your 4 scan rate speeds, and then you've got some effects added in. So the idea is you've got delay. For some reason reverb wouldn't work on this, so I had to add delay. You have modulation, which I'm going to swap in with something else because I'm not too happy with it. And then you have blend, which basically adds a plethora of different effects to the bank, essentially taking that 10-minute audio strip that you have and turning it into something longer and harder to interpret, so maybe giving you more random results. So just put it on for a second and show you it in action. So essentially, blend adds in pitch shift, flanger effects, and just a load of other things. As I say, I'm not too happy with modulation at the moment. I'm thinking of adding in a gate effect instead. So essentially, if you don't have the money for a portal or something like that, this could kind of be a really bad poor man's version of the portal, which I know is not necessarily a great thing, and you know, highlights the fact that I'd make a terrible salesperson. So, but yeah, that's pretty much just what I've been working on. None of this stuff is available right now, but I'm hoping to get my site back up sometime soon, and you know, start adding this stuff up for people to use should they want to just tinker around with stuff. You know, it's what it's all about: experimentation and just trying to see what they can find out, come up with. So yeah, that's pretty much it, everybody. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I'll let you know when those things are up soon, probably through Facebook or Twitter. Thanks.